If you look at the evolution of the business, right? Let me take you through a small slide here. Earlier, before 1760s, before the industrial revolution, right? The pre-industrial era, people were working as machines. People were working as machines. Then after the industrial revolution, right? We were using the machines to improve the efficiency of our work. Thereafter, after 1970s, we came to the information era, where the machines are capturing information, we are using that information, we are analyzing that information in the decision making. Now, what we need to really understand is that information era is also over now. Beyond 2010, right now what we are in is the experience era. In this experience era, the machine intelligence and the human intelligence work together. Machine intelligence and human intelligence work together. This we need to really understand. I know most of the accounting professionals, most of the financing professionals have this doubt, what will happen to our jobs, what will happen to our professions with the advancement of the technology, right? So in that context, I'll show you a number, right? This is going to happen in the next 2 years. This is the fact from the World Economic Forum. In the next 2 years, 85 million jobs will be eliminated. 85 million jobs will be eliminated. So most of the traditional jobs, most of the conventional jobs, most of the routine jobs will be eliminated. But don't worry, the most interesting part comes here. There will be 97 million new jobs, new roles. Now that is where we need to focus on. The traditional accounting, the conventional accounting professionals is gone. You need to focus on the new roles that are going to create and what are the things that you need to do. This is where you need to actually focus yourself in. Otherwise, you will be in that 85 million, the group. You need to be in the 97 million group. So this is where I would say we have to embrace the change. We have to embrace the change. Change is inevitable. We cannot actually avoid change. What we need to understand is the change is coming. We need to adapt to those changes. The future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative way. This is said by Robert Greene. The future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative ways. I think our dear chief guest today, Professor Bandara Vandinayaka sir, clearly mentioned that the difference between education and learning, difference between the questions and the problems. This is actually, I was really happy what I meant to say, sir said earlier, so I have a very good start for my speech today. So dear students, this is what you need to really understand. We academics, we face, and in my career, as a professional, we highly look at skills and attitudes, right? Skills and attitudes are the main thing. If somebody, when it comes to the education, all our veteran lecturers and everyone will agree with me, right? Education is about 3 things now: knowledge, skills, and the attitudes. Knowledge, skills, and the attitudes, right? Now, when it comes to the reality, what matters the most? Education is about the knowledge, skills, and attitudes. I'll put that into an iceberg. 20% of the iceberg is what is appearing, that is the knowledge part. What we really need in the market, in the reality, in the professional market, in the corporate world, what we need is skills and attitudes. That is the most important thing. I know, like sir said, there are plenty of people who are having a lot of qualifications. That is, we need. That is the 20%. I need every one of you to work on 4 times than your qualifications on skills and attitudes. The qualification, the knowledge part is only 20%. 4 times you have to work on the skills and attitudes. Then only you can become that 100%. Then only you will be able to survive in this great phase of change. That is where I'm going to take you through the top 5 skills demanded for the next decade given by the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum has published their articles after a 3 years research, and they are saying in the next 10 years, in the next decade, what are the skills and set of attitudes that we demand from the professionals. So I want you to please mark these skills and attitudes you have to develop. You have to develop. The qualification is just a starting point. That is the 20%. You have to work on that remaining 80%. Right? That is the most important thing. The first skill is the analytical skill. Right? Now, we are using a lot of technologies and we are getting a lot of information. We need you people, we need you professionals, accounting professionals to analyze that data. Analyze the data, identify the patterns, come up with the solutions. This analytical thinking, using the mathematical concepts, using the analytical knowledge, go into in-depth analysis is very much important. Right? So, data collection and data feeding, that is outdated. Machines will take care of them. For deep analytics, for the holistic analytics, we need people like you. And the most important thing, creative thinking. We need professionals to think differently. We need professionals to think in an innovative manner. We don't want people to do the same old thing again and again. You have to think in a different way. You have to think and act in a different way. People who think differently will survive. Let me ask a question. Who's the most wealthiest person in the world? Can anyone tell me who's the most wealthiest person in the world? So dear professionals, yes? Can anyone tell me? Yes? Who's the most wealthiest person in the world? Right now it is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the number one wealthiest person in the world, having a wealth of $247 trillion. His wealth. 247 billion, sorry. $247 billion. Sri Lanka's GDP is $89 billion. Right? So his wealth is like 3 times higher than our GDP. Why he is the wealthiest person? Because he's a creative person. He thinks differently. When he was a kid, when people asked who you want to be, he said, I want to be the first man to step foot on Mars. So he thinks differently. He created Tesla and everything. So if you think differently, if you act differently, that is what you are going to become. So we need creative thinking. And the third skill given by the World Economic Forum is resilience, flexibility, and agility. Resilience. The situations will change, the environment will change. Will you be able to adapt? Will you be able to resist? At the same time, are you flexible for the changes? Your work environment, everything will change. Are you flexible? And are you agile? Can you work efficiently? Are you agile? Right? So these are the skills you need to improve. The fourth one is about the motivation and self-awareness. You need to be a motivated character to achieve your targets. You need to have the targets, you need to have the dreams, and you need to be self-motivated. No one should be motivating you. You must be your motivator. And you need to know about yourself, your self-awareness. Who are you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your emotions? What are your thoughts? What are your actions? So you need to have that self-awareness among you. The last but not least, you need to have the curiosity and the lifelong learning. So once again, coming back to our chief case, lifelong learning. You need to learn from the cradle to the grave. From the birth until death, you are learning. That lifelong learning you should be having. You need to have that curiosity, you need to have that skepticism, and you need to have that questioning mind. Everything should be questioned. Then only we can learn something. So remember the 5 skills: analytical thinking, creative thinking, resilience, flexibility, and agility. At the same time, motivation and self-awareness. And finally, curiosity and lifelong learning. These are the key 5 skills you need in the next decade. Once again, I'm telling, the knowledge is only 20%. You need to work on remaining 80%. And in the corporate world, we need people with the skills and the attitudes. Your qualification is just the entry point. Beyond that, for you to survive, skills and attitude matters a lot. You remember Charles Darwin, back in 1859, he was born in 1809. Back in 1859, he made a statement. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to changes. We are going to survive in the face of change if we adopt, if we change ourselves. That is where we will be able to survive. So dear students, let me conclude my speech with a small story. Every one of us know about eagle. Eagle is generally considered as the king among the birds. Do you all know how an eagle behaves facing a storm? Whenever there's a storm, what other birds do is they hide in their comfort zone. They might go to their nest, or they might hide beyond some trees or whatever. They hide, all the other birds. But what eagle does is something different. Eagle flies and to a rock or something and wait until the storm hits. Eagle is waiting to the storm. Whenever the storm comes, with the first wave, eagle flies into the storm and he spread the wings. With the spreaded wings, with the first wave of the storm, the eagle will be lifted up and eagle will be flying above the storm. Eagle will be soaring above the storm. He is enjoying the storm. All the other birds are hiding in their comfort zones while eagle is enjoying the storm. So my dear students, I want you to be eagles, not the other birds who hide in your comfort zone. Change is coming. The storm of change is coming. And that is inevitable. You must decide, are you going to hide and wipe out in that 85 million, or are you going to face the storm, fly above the storm and enjoy the storm and be a part of that 97 million. So with that concluding remarks, let me conclude my speech. Congratulations everyone, and dear lecturers and the Department of Accountancy team, thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you.